Hi, it's Tony and Chelsea live every Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 4 o'clock's our new time. Our theme tonight is sports. So if you haven't already submitted a photo, you can do that now at sdp.io/submit. Next week, our theme is going to be landscapes. And Lindsay Adler is going to be here May 23rd at 4 o'clock reviewing your portrait photos. She was here before and she was one of our best guests ever. She's incredibly knowledgeable. She's generous with that knowledge. She has just good general life advice. She's an awesome person and an incredibly accomplished photographer. So you don't want to miss that show. May 23rd at 4 o'clock.
We have some really cool photo news coming up, a 64
But
megapixel
first,
smartphone
we have to thank
sensor.
our sponsor, Squarespace. Whether you want a website, domain, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. It's incredibly easy to use. If you can drag and drop, you can make your own Squarespace website that looks professional. They have award-winning designer templates. It's an all-in-one platform, 24/7 customer support, and it can be yours for a free trial for 14 days. No credit card needed. Go to squarespace.com/Chelsea and use the coupon code Chelsea to get 10% off.
Or if you use Chelsea's coupon code, she'll give you the last 10% off. If you use the coupon code Tony, you'll get the first 10% off. And that's the one I'd prefer. That's like the thinking man's 10% off the top, as they say.
Wow. You offend me.
You want to do some photo news before we start looking at some pictures?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sort of the big news of today, the one people always get outraged. Samsung made a 64 megapixel smartphone sensor. And like, that's too many megapixels. Why do we have so many? Who wants? What are they going to do?
Wow.
And I can't make the thing go away. Go away. No. Okay, so here's how it works. It has 64 megapixels quite technically, but in regular usage, it uses tetracell technology, which takes four of those little photo sites like red, blue, green, green, and reads them out as a single photo site. So most of the time, especially in low light, you're only going to have a quarter of that resolution, which is a much more normal and manageable resolution. But in good light, it'll still read it the same way, but then it'll sort of reverse demosaic it and figure out the position of the different red and blue photo sites so that it can sort of in post increase the resolution. This is not their first generation of this tech. So it's kind of been around before. It kind of gives
Does it work?
the benefit of being able to market a high number of megapixels without needing to deal with that detail all the time. I mean, does it work? I would guess that it works, but is the lens capable of resolving 64 megapixels? I mean, maybe if you put a massive lens on it, that's not Samsung's job. That's going to be whoever actually uses it in a phone.
This is like a prime candidate for our how camera companies lie to you videos.
Yeah, I know. It's a good marketing number.
It's
Anyway,
trickery.
it'll do full HD at 480 frames per second. And like a lot of new DSLRs, it has that dual conversion gain. For those of you who are following the whole like ISO is fake kind of thing, it's got that technology built into it. 2 real ISOs. The other big news is Nikon's financial report came out today, just an hour ago. I spent some time digging through it and going back through previous years. So I made this little chart of their actual unit sales for cameras and lenses. And as you can see, they were selling, 4.5 million lenses in 2017, and now they're down to 2.6 million lenses. Or that's their projected numbers for 2020. Of course, the 2017, 18, and 19 numbers are actual real numbers. But basically, you can see there's a big steep decline, which is pretty much what we know of the camera industry right now.
That stinks.
Yeah, but they still have an operating profit. They haven't been super successful with the Z6 and Z7 as I kind of track the trends. First of all, there's no real buzz about them. If you compare the 3 competing cameras from Canon, Nikon, and Sony, you can see the Sony A7 III, which is a couple of years old now, there's still much more interest about it on Google Trends, what people are searching for. And I think this difference might actually be greater than that because of the way Google searches work. There's so many different ways to type A7 III. And if I compare just interest in the pretty new Z7 versus the much older D850, more people are still interested in the Nikon D850.
It's a great camera.
Yeah, it is still a great camera. We were using it just the other day. We're
I
like,
love
this is
it.
a fantastic
I
camera.
hugged it.
Here's what they had to say. The product lineup is expanding, yet substantial revenue reduction is expected due to unit sales decrease of the existing products, mainly in DSLR. So like they're saying their DSLRs are selling much less. They're optimistic about the mirrorless lineup and they're considering it like a whole new lineup, but it's clearly not doing that great. Nikon rumors turned me on to this article. I dug out from their financial report their projections for their 2020 research and development budget, and this kind of breaks it down. And you can see that they are reducing the R&D budget for their cameras by a small amount, but still a substantial amount. And maybe more importantly, it's becoming a smaller and smaller part of their business. So in 2020, only 36% of their R&D budget will be going into imaging. The rest of it is going into like medical stuff and non-camera stuff. So like most of what Nikon does is not cameras nowadays because they understand it's like a difficult market right now.
Yeah. Not a good place to be right now.
Maybe it is for us. You want to look at some pictures?
Well, I was actually thinking about changing careers.
You want to get into like medical imaging or healthcare?
Yes, I'm also in medical imaging now.
My optometrist had this cool piece of Nikon gear that would like map the inside of my eye.
I did that too.
Yeah, it was so cool. It's the coolest thing we've seen from Nikon in a while.
Maybe we could get some serious Instagram likes if we only did inner eyeball photography. Eyeball landscapes.
Let's take a look at some sports photos. This is from Bob Carlisle. It's a hockey shot, and it's cool that there's snow everywhere, but it's also kind of hiding the important details. Like, I actually don't know what's happening here. I could see the goalie's like getting something. Did they call it a goalie? I don't know anything. I'm in Texas, but I don't know anything about hockey. Is there a different word? It's probably some Canadian word.
Netman?
Yeah. Joe Net Guy.
Whoa.
What sport is this? And how do I get a ticket? What? Oh.
Yeah, I feel like something has gone wrong here. Is that like R2-D2 on the front of the car?
I think it's a...
That's the driver.
Oh, that's a driver. Oh my God. Dude, get that guy out of there.
I don't know. Maybe there's a time to put down the camera and...
Okay, you
no.
get a pick. It's like some monster truck show. This shot is so cool, except for one thing, Joey. If that ball could be here, you would have so much more subject separation.
I didn't even see it.
the ball at all.
Yeah.
Or if the ball could be over here. I do not know how he got the bat to be in 3 positions like that. Because I don't think it would show up that way.
Maybe he
naturally.
photoshopped it.
Yeah, maybe he just rotated it because the hands don't seem to be in
Chris, I'm hearing you, but you sound like you're in a fishbowl for some reason.
It could be.
By the way, here's Chris. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, Chris.
He's not in a fishbowl, but he will be taking your questions and comments. So if you have them, send them his way.
Also, I spotted a flaw in Joey's picture. Look at the shadow. Enhance. Oh, just one shadow. I got you, Joey. Should be an easy fix.
Beerb.
Okay. Beerb's a surfer. He's got like a GoPro strapped to his board. I
That's
think
a
it's a
cool
cool
shot.
shot.
Yeah,
I
like
like
it's
the
in
silhouette
silhouette.
on it.
Jinx, you owe me your beer, the one that you're drinking right now. Thank you.
Oh, people are going to be mad about this. I don't like seeing people do headers. It is, fairness, it is kind of bad if you do it a bunch.
Is that why you threw a soccer ball at her daughter's head like 300 times for a
I
video?
gently tossed a soccer ball at her head, allowed her to control the force.
And gave Maya a bloody nose?
Oh, please.
It doesn't... Oh, I guess she is in the game. It's very strange with this face poking out, but it is an interesting shot. I mean, wow, look at what the ball does when it hits someone's head.
Yeah, they caught that moment, which I know is extremely hard. So, Mike, I'm giving you a pick. That turned out good. I think it's another great example of a silhouette. This turned out great.
Yeah, I might even just go with like the sunset tones to match that mood, brah.
1/8,000th of a second. Dang.
Because he's really fast. Is this baby dog sledding?
Yeah, I think so.
There are some things we could do to improve the shot. I think it would be so much more compelling to
Have the
see
front of the
everybody's
baby?
eyes. Yeah, if you could be where that guy is over here with his smartphone, despite the fact that he's using a smartphone, he might have actually gotten a better shot out of it.
No.
And think about your background too, because you have a bunch of people just kind of standing around with
I
their smartphone.
just like the story here.
Baby dog sleds.
Yeah. I'm giving you a pick just for letting me know that exists. Whoa. Okay. Pick. That's a lucky shot. Tony.
I feel like
Those
the photographer
probably
died
300
shortly thereafter.
Attempt at that shot.
Yeah, they must have taken some time. Good shot, Greg.
Why there always have to be cars in the background everywhere we go?
Yeah, you know, I
I'm not
think
getting good subject separation, which is probably very difficult for the sport, but it's difficult to tell where one horse ends and the other begins, which is not something I like in a horse. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm totally confused about this middle horse. Is his head completely inside that other horse?
Yes.
Look
You
at their
get extra
legs.
points if that happens. Look at the dirt getting kicked up. That's amazing. That's an amazing sport. I can barely stay on this bar stool, and look what they do.
This shot's perfect. Have you ever seen a more clean pan? Oh my God.
It's a really good pan.
Yeah, that's a beautiful pan. 1/50th of a second. You can see Fabio had to raise his f-stop up to f13 in order to get that slow shutter speed in the full sun like that.
I think I like it with a little more contrast.
I'd be curious. Maybe if Fabio's watching live, I'd like to hear how many shots Fabio took in order to get such a perfect pan, because the percentage on pans at 1/50th of a second is real low. Like he probably took 500 shots, 1,000 shots.
He did a good job.
More.
He does this all the time. I know it. Whoa. That's interesting.
I love this sort of long shutter speed photography. I mean, with sports, it's a numbers game. Most of your shots are going to be complete garbage, but you'll also get some of the most rewarding shots. I think it's a really compelling way to tell the story here. Yeah, cool shot.
But
That shot seems so perfect. Like the colors are so bright. You've got just the right amount of background blur going on there.
and the background tells a story. It's not just clutter. Like this mom, she doesn't pay attention to her children. But I think that's accurate. Good moment too.
Yeah, and they caught the ball exactly hitting the bat. Like it's really hard to time that. Nice job, Bob.
Yeah, I might actually just crisp those whites a little bit. Like, pop.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Love it. Chris Reddy.
Oh, good shot, Chris. Just called you ready.
Good job, Reddy.
Yeah.
I like all of the different expressions in this photo. Like this guy looking back. This guy trying to get to the ball, but his leg is stuck. Like there's a lot going on, but I kind of like it. It just kind of shows the chaos of the game.
I'm sure Chris will understand that I have to crop.
You got cropped.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't want to get too far into that person's foot, but I feel like I have to crop it. Maybe I would take a little more off.
Where is this, Chris? Oh, the Rochester Rhinos. Answered my own question. I like it. I'm going to give you a pick. Woo! And you know firsthand that gets you nothing, Chris.
So Rick shot this at 190 millimeters, and I actually wish you'd zoomed in a little bit more, because I think you shot a little bit wide and then cropped deep. And I wish we could see a little bit more of the detail. Zooming in a little bit more would also give us a little more background blur and a little more separation, I think would help here. But you very nearly caught that split second when the ball hits the bat. I know that can be really hard.
It's like right here. Wow.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those times where like a pro 300 f2.8 would have made that little extra bit of difference.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. It almost looks like a painting, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and the background is good.
Uh,
The colors are so rich. It's almost cinematic.
Yeah, that 1/2000 shutter speed is like freezing all that dirt. I would just do a little dodging and burning to improve the subject separation here.
Look at the feet. Every single hoof is off the ground. That's incredible. Did you know that this is how movies were started? Some photographers had a bet that horses' feet never left the ground.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they like basically invented high-speed photography and made frames. And then they made that little experiment into a movie. Don't quote me on this. One of you should Wikipedia it.
no,
That's
I think
right,
that's
right?
exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
And that's like how all of, was it Universal Studio? I think they were
I
the
don't
first
know.
one to
I'm
like, but yeah, that's how the whole movie industry was formed in California.
Good shot, Troy. I would like to see this filling the frame with the subject a little bit more. And I also want to see the ball.
It's right here.
Oh, I see.
It's
moving
also
there.
green.
Oh.
It took me a while to see it.
Yeah, I think this would work a little bit better with a more traditionally colored ball because I was expecting a white ball and thus I completely missed it. But you could always fix that in post.
I added a little bit of contrast. That's been my thing today. Wow. Wow. He's
Wow,
like,
he's levitating. This is some Matrix.
he's also adequately protected. Oh, Taekwondo. Very cool.
Nice shot, Jimmy.
Whoa.
That's like me going to the grocery store.
Also an excellent pan. You know, it doesn't have perfect crispness, but you really don't get that on any kind of pan, especially in motorsports because the cars have combustion engines and they're bouncing up and down as well as moving forward and back. So you're never going to get a super crisp shot. And if you do, it's probably fake. This one turned out awesome. You caught a really good moment and we can see that tire lifting up.
Jeez.
Got to get some more downforce on that guy. And here, the low angle is what's providing the feeling that he's cresting and breaking the waves there. So perfect way to position yourself for that. Wouldn't even hurt to get lower if that's a possibility. Like, I'll definitely get down on my belly for some shots.
Yeah, this one's tough because the colors are all over the place. But this is a great shot. I think you could make it even better by doing a little processing on it just to make it a little like beautify it. Okay. Wow.
Oh, an eighth of a second. I don't think I've ever tried that with soccer, but it turned out really cool.
And it's pretty neat.
It's art. I'm going to give that one a pick.
It's artsy. You
That was
like it?
creative. Yeah, right? That's cool.
Let's take a quick. Sports shots kind of make me laugh sometimes because you capture some very strange moments.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's like, "Hi-ya!"
I shoot kids soccer all the time and they have the worst expressions. Like a lot of the times when you see their faces, you're like, I'm not going to give them that picture. I'm going to give them the gift of never showing them what their face looks like when they're trying to kick the ball.
Chris, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, a couple things. First of all, both Manny and Mr. Poland say hello.
Oh, hey guys.
Lively discussion.
It's been a while, boys.
Yeah, I haven't heard from them in a while. What else?
Yeah, and while you were talking about soccer, several people wanted to know about, Tony, what is your preferred setup to shoot soccer when you go out, or do you just rotate through whatever?
I do often include that in camera reviews. I'll take a different camera, but when I can pick what I want, it's the Sony A9 with a 1.4 teleconverter and the Sony 7200 f2.8 GM. Sorry, Jared, but I shoot JPEG for sports because I don't want to fill that buffer up.
You just cannot resist.
It's true, though. I shoot JPEG.
Would you ever do the 400 millimeter? Is that too long for you for sports?
When we had that, I'd so wanted to bring it to my kid's soccer game, but I knew it would have been like a spectacle. You can't show up with
Why?
a big white lens like that. I don't like to be the center of attention.
Wow, it was a great lens, though. That's a great setup.
When we shot pro sports with it, it produced absolutely spectacular results, and it would definitely be what I would use.
We rented it for some wildlife for my Sony review, and it's great glass.
It's actually a little too long. Like
I was
I'd
thinking it
rather
might be a little
be at
too
like
long.
300 f2.
Well, then
or
you don't have to
300
be the
f2.8.
center of attention if you're taking pictures from some other field where no one knows you.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. What else, Chris?
Yeah, what is let's see here. In indoor sports with lower than ideal lighting, which is just about any gym you'd ever go to, is using a maximum aperture more important than a higher ISO, even with the smaller depth of field? Or is it just pure and simple shutter speed?
Well, it's something I think about a lot. And if I am shooting outside, then in shooting soccer, I will love to shoot at 1/2000th of a second. You'll get crisper shots. You'll capture the grass and dirt being kicked up. But when it gets inside, we shoot indoor sports a lot, and I will drop that shutter speed down further and further. So it's often I'm at like 1/500th or 1/400th or even like 1/250th sometimes, because the shots can be so noisy. But it's always wide open. I try to always shoot wide
Are
open.
you ever happy with indoor? I actually don't ever shoot indoor sports because I'm never happy with the pictures. I mean, like some sports or some like professional sports can be better lit. Like I've seen really good hockey pictures and like basketball shots seem fine, but indoor soccer where we are, so grainy.
Yeah, you're often at you're often at like ISO 12,800.
Yeah.
That's typically what it's like.
It's-
And that's, again, like pushing the shutter speed as slow as I could possibly go, to the
And
point where
then-
some shots are ruined.
The fluorescent lighting is like putrid.
Yeah.
I really dislike shooting in fluorescent lighting.
Yeah, it's not my preference, but it's tough. But anyway, you make the ISO as high as you have to get the proper exposure, and you just work that shutter speed and try to find the compromise between clean images and not having everything ruined by motion blur.
All right.
You want to take a look at a Squarespace portfolio?
Yes, this one looks nice. Rebecca Smith Photography, clean and simple. A
wanted
tip
to look at the
that I
about
gave
page.
last week that I would give again is just to make your site and your brand a little more recognizable. You don't have to have a full logo or anything, but even just like adding simple colors or something could make your name stand out and make your site a little bit more memorable.
What do you think about Rebecca having like a family photo for her about page?
I like that. It shows if she's taking family photos, it shows that she has her own kids. She understands them. She understands what people want in a family photo.
I like that too. I think we could do better with the photo. I feel like, just up against a white fence isn't how Rebecca would want her photography to be represented, right? Like none of these photos are just up against a white fence. I might just retake that photo and I would get her with a camera in her hand and then with her family there. I think is a great idea.
These are really great pictures. Like, I think any family would be happy with this set that you see here. And usually I say not to get too many pictures from the same set, but this kind of gives me an idea of what you can do with one family and one location. You have the husband and wife, you have them all with the kids holding hands and walking, you have just the kids together, the kids separate. It shows that you offer some versatility in the services that you offer, and I feel like I could just hire you right now. These shots are so beautiful, and you're getting really nice, genuine expressions out of the people. I don't feel that they're overly processed. They still look like natural without being too smooth and creepy. Yeah, you have beautiful photos.
Yeah, these shots are all great.
This looks like a senior portrait, and you did a really great job, and you have a boy, which isn't all that common, and the poses are great. They're masculine, but still look nice and natural.
Yeah, those shots of him are fantastic. I love the one on the train tracks.
Yeah. I like him with the football, too. It gives me an idea for his personality. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. I would normally say that this is too many shots, but I'm not feeling that. I'm enjoying it. It doesn't feel like it's too much, even though those shots are almost duplicated.
Because I think sometimes people try to make it look like they're not the same person by putting the same person from the same day, maybe in a different environment, and then trying to like put a few shots later, like you're going to trick them. But she has these in a set, and it makes sense. These are beautiful.
Rebecca, your portrait game is strong,
It's
but
so
I'm
strong.
going to make a suggestion, and that is to start adding some front lighting. to your portraits, because a lot of these are taken with the faces almost in shadow. And like these two boys here, you can see their eyes are just kind of dark. If you just had somebody there with a reflector, or you had like a softbox off camera, just adding a little bit of fill, I think that's what will take your portraits to the next level, because you've gone so far. Your processing is fantastic, and the locations are great. You're great at the posing, which is what most people screw up. A little bit of front light. Work on the lighting the next.
All right. About pricing, I like that it's right there. Family session, up to 6 individuals, 1 hour session, 30 plus edited images, full copyright. Wow,
Dang.
you are like very affordable. Dare I say underpriced for the caliber of your work. I mean, you probably know your area better than I do, but you seem to be undercharging, I think.
30 images?
I know, 30 images. Edited. And you do a good job editing, too. But everything's there. I don't feel like, I don't feel hesitant to contact you. I hate when someone's just like, call me and we'll talk about prices. And I don't want to have that awkward interaction where you're way out of my price range and I can't afford you and I have to tell you. So I like that you're upfront with everything. And then you have some wildlife and landscape, too. Beautiful osprey picture.
Yeah, I like that she just stuck this at kind of the end of the menu. Like, here's also this, and it takes an aside to her portrait photography, which is the focus. I think this is a super strong portfolio, and I would bet that Rebecca is well positioned to make some money. I mean, we might have to start talking about things like search engine optimization. Usually we just talk about the images, but portrait photography is a very local thing, so you might start putting in words like vernal Utah photography, vernal Utah portrait photography, that kind of thing. Make sure you're getting people to your site. I'm not sure what your goals are, but it seems like everything here is looking great.
It looks really professional. Your photos are well done. I give you an A+. It's great. Let's hear what she has to say about Squarespace.
Absolutely love how simple it is to make a website and get a personalized domain with Squarespace. I'm an impatient person, and they make it quick and easy to make a website. Yeah, we know something about being impatient ourselves.
I know a little bit about that, and that was the reason that I just loved Squarespace right away, because I threw together a website in like 20 minutes, and that's what I needed to be able to do to get one done. So they're good. If you want to try your own Squarespace and possibly have one as beautiful as Rebecca's, you can get a 14-day free trial, no credit card needed. You don't have to remember to cancel your subscription. You just get it for free for 14 days. And then if you decide to buy it, you can use the coupon code Chelsea and get 10% off. So go to squarespace.com/Chelsea and use the coupon code Chelsea.
I can't beat the
You
sing
can't
song
beat it.
thing. I
You
just can't do
beat
that.
it.
I think I'll import some more questions, maybe some more pictures. Maybe Chris has a question for us.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Do you have any idea what type of sports venues restrict certain camera types and sizes, and is there a good approach to getting good shots with smaller gear?
I don't know which sports venues restrict what.
Yeah, they often don't say, and they'll just get you when they search your bag on the way in. I've had that happen before, and you end up having to walk back to the car and stash something. But I'll also say I can often sneak in little like micro four thirds gear, like a little prime lens. But I mean, it can be fun to take shots from the stands, but you might just want to enjoy the game. I mean, that might be part of it, but you're not going to get great shots from the stands. Like, it's a drastic difference being ground level versus being up even 10 feet in the air. When you're kind of looking down like that, they just don't turn out great. But I do understand like that can be the most fun part of it for some people. That is a dramatic shot.
Yeah, I love that.
I love the intensity and the water spray. It's a great shot, Bjorn. Give you a pick for that. Oh, okay. Here we go. The head-on shot. See how much more powerful that is? That's the angle. And it requires some planning. Like, it means you can't be chasing your subject. That's like the number one lesson to learn in sports is you can't chase the subject. You have to figure out where they're going to be and then get in front of them and get everything focused and ready for them to arrive there. Great example of that, Tom.
I love it. Pick it. This is a little bit too isolated for me just because I can't see the batter or the ball or anyone's face. But you have like a good exposure and everything. So maybe next just work on getting a point of interest, like a little bit of action. Oh boy, it's a fisherman face-off.
Yeah, I do think it's cute with the bird there. Maybe he's got a fish in his hand, but I can't really see it. So we kind of need to see a little bit more of that. Oh, that's a great shot. I'm going to give this one a pick 2. We've got the like intense eye contact from the batter and the catcher is all ready.
Man,
That's a great shot.
poor kid.
What are you saying mad about?
Because that's a strike, Tony. Tour of Portugal.
I am so confused about who is racing in this.
I
Oh,
think
I
it's
see. It's a
this-
chase car. He's got like backup parts for the bike.
It's a message to you. Stand, Tony.
Do Adro. I don't know who Adro is, but I'm going to pass. Is that zoomed in or is that just a perfect crop? Okay. I liked it better. Cropped. This is another case where I don't know if you could get lower. Maybe you'd be getting wet if you could, but if you could get lower, it would be a more powerful shot. Nonetheless, it turned out really good. And yeah, a longer lens here would help too. 250th, it's a good start, but yeah, the optimal crop is going to be losing some pixels for you. So, but the number one thing you can do is just get lower to the ground. Like a common theme with sports, get lower, get lower, get lower. This shot here would be much more powerful if it were low to the ground. Then we'd see the audience. We'd have more background blur. We can kind of see the puck there.
I like the
but
puck. Yeah. This is a good one.
yeah, this is a
You got the ball.
fantastic golf shot.
Yeah.
I kind of wish the ball were in a little bit of a different position. This is one of those times where you just shoot continuous and maybe the ball disappeared by the time your camera was ready to shoot another frame. Maybe you just chose it because this is where the dirt was coolest. But this could be in a magazine ad, you know, like your dad's Golf Digest. If I saw that in there, it would seem like it fit.
My dad doesn't get Golf Digest anymore.
Oh no, what happened?
Print's dead, I guess.
Oh no, it's really bad news. As I was saying
Allowed to
before,
do that?
you want to be ahead of your subjects, anticipate where they're going to be. In a pro football game, you know, you wouldn't obviously be running faster than the tight ends and getting out in front of them. There would probably just be a different photographer who would get this shot. But, you know, from the side and slightly behind, it's missing a lot of stuff, though. It's cool to see him grabbing the shirt like that. You
I
kind of
like-
pick your spot and get what shots you can. And
I
know
like
that
the
you're gonna
grab.
get everything. All right, looks like a drifting competition to me.
1/60th of a second. So you're going to you need a faster shutter speed, friend. I guess, wait, are you panning? What you doing?
Yeah, there's a pan going on there. It almost seems like there's a little bit of rolling shutter, though maybe not. Yeah, it's a cool shot. I don't know that I have any suggestions. Okay, this is an awesome shot. And talk about getting low. See how powerful it is when you get low? It's such an intimate thing. And this at 52 millimeters, you know, being like wide angle here, it feels like the camera is in the ring, doesn't it? I don't know. It must be like right at the edge of the ring. So powerful, man. You see dude's spit coming out. This sucks for him.
That sucks.
But great shot for you.
Can you imagine even taking one hit like that?
Oh, yeah, no, I'd be done. That'd be it.
That'd be
No
it.
more
I'd
no
be
more
done.
camera reviews.
Okay, I just can't stop looking at it. Great picture. Pick.
Good job, Derek. Okay.
I thought that was the picture. I was like, oh, you missed it. This gosh darn fluorescent lighting makes everyone green.
But great job with the pan. That helps a lot. Again, I would suggest getting a little bit lower here. I think you've done a good job in that she's sort of between the different people in the background, so there's not too much overlap. It looks like they're judging her in some way. I don't know if she wants
Aren't they
it.
always?
Yeah.
Nice. You got a little subject separation, and that's not easy to do when there's a bunch of people behind your subject. So why does it look mini?
It definitely looks mini. I don't know why that is though.
Because I think that they added the blur in post. Because look, underneath the car is sharp,
Oh, yeah.
and then over here it's not. And so
Oh.
it gave it the miniaturized effect. When you blur the top and the bottom, it looks like tilt shift.
It's cool with the two cars, but because there's so much distance between them, we've ended up in the situation where both of them are too close to the edge of the frame, and the middle where your eye is drawn, there's just nothing going on. So I think you would have gotten better results by being at 300 and just picking one subject and do the two shot if the cars are very close to each other, if like it's an overtaking situation. That doesn't seem like I think it's a Celica. It doesn't seem like the kind of, no, it's a Honda of some kind. It doesn't seem like it should be in the air is what I'm saying.
Wow, great shot.
Yeah, this is good. You've gotten down low. See how powerful that is? Because now their legs are actually above the whatever you call those things that they jump over.
Hurdle?
Hurdles.
Yeah, it gives your
Not much of an
it
athlete.
makes it a little more dramatic. Hurdle, or as you call them, dog gate. Been taken out by a many friend. Good expressions too.
Mhm.
I like how she's slapping the sky. Pew. Oh, that's a nice picture.
Yeah, that is nice. It's
Hmm.
a nice, thoughtful picture.
Ooh, contact with the ball.
Yeah, nice low angle, really close.
Ooh, let's just go through a little faster.
Okay.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that is pretty gorgeous. That dude's like on his iPad though.
Are they taking a picture? Whoa.
Another awesome pan. Great work.
I like the tilt.
Yeah, it makes it more dynamic, right?
So their skin tones are just a little bit flat, so I would expose for them. It's so hard when you have really hard light like that.
Getting lower and open that aperture all the way up. Yeah,
Heck.
that's a great storytelling photo.
Yeah. Really dramatic, really beautiful photo. This guy.
Yeah.
This is a story right here.
Yeah,
I love the shots that include the spectators. You get a lot of storytelling right there.
yeah, I agree. I wouldn't mind saying, I know I keep saying it, but a little bit lower. I also wish we could see their eyes, but what can you do? And yeah, the colors of indoor sports are
It's really
always an
tough.
absolute nightmare. I think you could probably crank it up to a faster shutter speed. I know it's painful to need to be dipping into the 4 digits on the ISO, but what else can you do?
Don't see wide angle very often. What is this? 18 millimeter?
Yeah, basketball is shot wide like that. And usually vertically too. This is an excellent shot. You can see here they're at ISO 16,000, and that's typical. Like, what are you going to do? The answer is you can get yourself a faster lens. Basketball would usually be shot with prime lenses, usually like wider prime lenses, and just because that'll give you a little more background separation and let you use a lower ISO. Gear can really matter with the sports stuff. This guy, he's such a badass. What does he have? A cigar? I mean, he clearly doesn't care about death. It's not the cigar that's going to get him.
No.
He can just hit a bump wrong and everything is over for him.
I'm giving this a pick. Look at that
Yeah.
background blur.
It's a spectacular shot.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's my hero. Dang, what a badass. I need to see the ball or something. I don't even know what sport this is.
It's
If it's
soccer.
rugby. How do you know it's not rugby?
Because rugby people look different.
I knew you were going to say that.
All right.
Again, we got to see more of the ball, like
Yeah,
a piece of the
it's
story.
a part
is
of the
missing
story
here.
because he's looking at it and then we're not getting the full payoff. We're just seeing a tiny bit of it.
Yeah.
and no net and no other people. Like, we need a few other elements. Wow. I think the horse is going to hit her with the crop. The tables have turned, Emily. This is a nice shot.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think the person likes that shot. Oh man, this is gorgeous. I think the secret with sports for me is finding that perfect shutter speed, especially when you want to show a little bit motion. And yeah, 1/160th was perfect, just the right amount. Very exciting shot. What is there some weird processing going on, or was it maybe they got splashed with water?
Yeah, I think
must
they have water on their
the
lens.
in it.
Yeah. That happens. I think the subject is more on these spectators, Mike. First of all, because they're wearing the brightest thing within miles, but also because we're getting the back of this rider and he's wearing all black, so it can it's difficult to distinguish anything about him.
Yeah, think about getting ahead of your subject, or in the case of motorcycles, shooting them from the side can be good. Oh man, what a great shot. And you got down low. See how key that is? Especially when you want to show off the height of something. This shot feels like perfect to me. I'm going to give that a pick. It's a gorgeous shot.
It's cool, I guess. I always preferred to just give my horses treats, to be honest. Just brightened it a little bit. Whoa. I like the color contrast, the blue and his orange shoes.
Yeah, I kind of want to see some competition in there.
There's no competition. Look at him.
But I guess he's so far ahead
fast.
that we just couldn't see it.
So fast. Yeah, I haven't seen a sumo photo submitted to the show before, but I like it. There's some action. I really want to check out the crowd. I like that the crowd is involved. They're part of the story.
I feel like the photographers that are in the frame there just have the better angle. I understand you don't necessarily get that spot. You get the shot. You sit where you are assigned and you get the shots that you can get. And this is probably the best shot they could get from that angle. But one of the best things you can do as a sports photographer is figure out ways to get lower and closer, to get like ringside or to get front row at the stadium, that kind of thing. It's going to make a huge difference.
Can you imagine having to wear that to participate in your sport, though? Like, that's not really nice to do to people.
Gorgeous shot. Give you a pick.
We have so many photos today. Wow. Wait.
Oh, okay.
This one got me.
Yeah, that's some good
'Cause
intensity.
I like the background's black and then all of the chalk. That's really beautiful.
Yeah. Good shot, Sean.
I was going to just... We've been all about contrast today. Make your skin less green because that...
Crop it. Crop.
You want me to crop?
What? I didn't say anything about that. If you choose to crop, that's you.
Are you trying to lose your nickname, Tony Northrop?
Chelsea Crothrop? Croth.
Crothrop. All right. Which other ones catch your eye? Let's scroll through.
I wanted to see what looks like backyard wrestling here.
Dang, that's cool. Wrestling is like a soap opera dance for men. I think that's nice that you guys have that.
Wow. Then in Texas, them's fighting words.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Why?
I used to watch
You
wrestling
think
as a
wrestlers
kid.
want to be called a soap opera dance?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're making up man drama. They're like, you gave me beef and you insulted my strength. It's just the man version. Then they get all dressed up in glitter.
You've got
Okay.
a point, Chelsea, I must say.
Thank you, Chris. I'm glad that you're seeing it in a new way.
The number of viewers from the South has just plummeted to -0. That motorcycle shot, I gave it a pick. It was spectacular. This drifting shot is fantastic too. I love that you captured the smoke in there. Again, I think being lower would help, but this is a great angle on it.
I think we take it black and white and we just appreciate the contrast.
Okay. I don't know, but I don't think that's good for your tires.
No, it's good. Just smoke them right off. Wow.
Oh my God, he's adorable.
That's a great picture.
Yeah, it really
I wish I
is.
could just see like a little more of his legs, but I feel like I know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been the best frame. I mean, you shoot continuous just as fast as you can. Shoot JPEG so that you don't run out of buffer. And then pick the best frame. But the simplicity of the composition and the great subject separation. Perfect. Can we finish on the dog picture to the left? Okay, well, it's really cute. But it's got the car and stuff in it. You know, I know it's a very cluttered background. It can be tough to get the perfect angle. You can maybe zoom in a
I
little
think
bit
black
tighter.
and white helps with that one too.
But I want to see this doggy.
Oh.
Beautiful, right? Okay, Pounder. Speaking of dogs, that's my dog going to town on the carpet. You want to take another question from Chris and then get out of here so we can do adult kickball?
We don't even have to leave. Huh?
The information about that picture of the horse with the feet off the ground, that was Edward Maybridge.
Yes.
And he photographed people in various sets of motion with multiple cameras and then pieced them together.
Oh, that's how we did it. They lined up the cameras. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are there any sports that you wouldn't shoot because it's too risky for the gear?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, what would be a sport that's dangerous for the gear? I mean, anytime somebody can run off the sidelines and smash into you, that definitely happens.
Well, all I came to mind were things like water sports where you're trying to get too close, or surfing or something like that. That's the only thing I could think of that you could, get too close to the water, get splashed, and salt water all in everything. But
I think you could just put it in a casing and be okay.
Telephoto lenses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you have, Chris?
Speaking of which, what's the most important piece of equipment when shooting sports?
Oh, okay. So I think that's debatable because obviously the lens is very important, but I'm going to say the body because I like a high frame rate because then you can choose from the most interesting and aesthetically pleasing action. And we saw that many times today where the ball was just in the wrong spot, but you'd have to have a very high frame rate to catch it in the correct spot. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I'll totally agree. Though it's a snarky comment, but I would say like a press pass is going to make a huge difference.
Oh.
I'd rather have
you
upfront
thought
seats
outside
and a cheap camera.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, in fact, that's exactly that shot that I submitted, the soccer picture. I got a press pass, so I was 15 feet from the guys, and you could frame it any way you want. Just gives you a huge advantage.
How'd you get it, Chris? Did you just contact the?
You just ask them.
Yeah.
You have to make a case that you're a photographer, and this was minor league, not MLS, but it was one league down. But you contact them officially, and I included my website, and so that they could see that I was a real photographer. And they said, "Come on down, pick up a press pass." I did that with both the soccer team and the minor league baseball team.
That sounds like an even better reason to have a Squarespace, because if you have someone checking out your photos to see if you're legit, you don't want to send them to your Facebook. You don't want to send them to Twitter or even your Instagram. You want your best shots just up front and center to send them to.
And that's coupon code Chris. No, Chelsea.
Chris, you're stepping on my toes now, bud.
Sorry, man.
So you can go to squarespace.com/Chelsea. You can try a 14-day free trial. And if you want to get 10% off, use the coupon code Chelsea.
Or use the coupon code Tony and you get free admiration from me.
You also get admiration and 10% off.
Yeah.
I am going to include 10% off and a free air guitar.
Wow.
Use coupon code Chris and you get nothing.
You get nothing. It doesn't exist. There might be another Chris.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. And we will see you next week The theme is landscapes.
Bye.
Bye.
That is all.